and I'm in the UK, live in Gloucester. And today, I've been doing these sessions for quite a while now, and today we'll be talking about quite a particular question. So I'll be bugging you quite a bit with it. What do you think about optimism? That's the title. So I'll start off with Khushbu. So Khushbu, what do you think about optimism?
Just a minute, ma'am.
That's all right.
Uneasy. Everyone should be optimistic, and I'm an optimism person.
Okay, I'm an optimistic person. Yes.
Optimistic person, and everyone should be optimistic. And I'm an optimistic person, ma'am. That's it.
Okay, but why should we be?
Yes,
why?
I like optimism.
Okay, why? Why do you like it? You can't just say I like it, but why? I need a reason why you like it.
Okay, you like it. Me also about that optimism.
Okay.
Yes,
why do you like to be an optimist?
Ma'am, it's a mental attitude. And I feel that good things will happen in the future. Things to work out for the best.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and why would you encourage? So it's good to be an optimist because you get a positive mental attitude and you get to improve yourself in the future. And what can you do to help yourself be an optimist? Because sometimes it's not easy to be an optimist if everything is seems to be going wrong.
Yes, ma'am. If I will, ma'am, please repeat the question.
Okay. Sometimes life is tough.
Yes.
And things start to go wrong, whether we like it or not. What advice would you give to anyone? How can someone be an optimist still? What advice would you give them to be an optimist? What can they do?
Ma'am, I will give him like positive attitude about others and spread good vibes and get healthy about good things and thinking about positive attitude.
Okay, so thinking positively that things will work out. Focusing on health. Using others as an example.
Yes.
Okay, so these are ways how you would help a person to become more optimistic, even if their life is not going quite well.
Yes. Then I will give him advice. Not advice, maybe good vibes about all the things.
Okay. And if I may ask, in your life, what situation was it that made you realize how much of an optimist you really are? When did your optimism really shine through?
Yes, when running a business, as well, I know it's a hard time and full of stress in the new business. Then it's very difficult to do all the things in the business, and stress is also there in the new business. About that things. Then I feel about being positive and do all the things.
Okay, so stress.
Yes.
The stress from running a business. Your positivity has really shown through, and it has been shining through. Your optimism, because it has kept you going on, even though your business has been very stressful.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, and have you ever not been optimistic?
Not been optimistic. Mm,
Was there a point in your life where you lost your optimism and you were rather pessimistic?
Ma'am, as a human being, I sometimes I lost my optimism, and I thinking about all the negative things, about negative how to do all things better. Then my family member give me support to do better in the life and handle with the lots of positive attitudes.
Mhm.
Then I will do all the then I have done, and then I got all the things.
Okay. Okay, very good. So it's your family that keeps you, even when life was tough. You did not go into being a pessimist because your family kept you very, very much optimistic.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'll now move on to Mal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kushbu.
Hi.
Hi, Kamal. So
Nice to meet you too.
today the discussion is about being an optimist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and why should you be an optimist?
Life is easy if you're an optimist.
Mhm.
So I think, I'm a strong believer that we are here for a transitionary phase. It's like, there's life after life, or right, life after that. So probably, I believe that if you're optimistic, then it's easier to carry on with life. You're happier, and you make friends, and everything is rosy.
Okay. Okay, so life is way easier. So optimism makes life much easier. Everything is rosy, like you said. Everything,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not easy, it appears to be easy.
Yes.
Okay, and how would you encourage someone to be an optimist? Because not everyone has, optimism. Some people are just not optimistic. What would you say? What can one do to become more of an optimist?
See, not everyone is optimistic all the time, and not everyone is pessimistic all the time. So there has to be a balance. There are situations wherein we are pessimistic about a particular situation or a person or whatever, which also is fine, because that's also is a part of learning. So you cannot just be optimistic all the time. Even when you're hurt, you tend to be pessimist, and then when you neutralize yourself, you balance it out, and then you are again an optimistic person. So I think if a person is being a pessimist at a particular point in time, I think we just have to be a good listener. We just listen through whatever they have to say, understand, and not necessarily we need to judge. But if a person is pessimist all the time, then obviously they need some kind of counseling, or you can just help them reach a counselor. Or if you are good at counseling, like if I am good at counseling, I can just start counseling that person. So to make a totally pessimistic person an optimistic person, it cannot be just by simple counseling. There have to be a way. So we need to really check out what suits best.
Very good. Okay, so guys, this is quite interesting because Kamal has mentioned something that ties in with yesterday. Our topic yesterday was about empathy, and you said listening and understanding someone. So it's really putting yourself in someone else's shoes and letting them, vent and understanding them, and then maybe giving them some advice. So it ties in really nicely with yesterday's about why we should be empathetic. So just thought I'll bring it in there. Very good. And can you mention a particular situation in your life where you were an optimist?
Many actually. Like I wanted to like I took a long break, and I was very optimistic during the break. Like it's been 6 years, and then I was associated with many. I mean, I was doing a lot of other things as well during the break, but I was not I was not pessimistic that I'm leaving my job and I have nothing in hand. I mean, the main reason was to, bring up my kids. I've got 2 kids, so with the birth of younger one, I left my job, and then to get back to job, I was again pessimistic. I went to IIM, I did a course, and I mean, I'm yet to find a job. Like to yet start applying due to some personal reason, I'm stuck. But yes, this opportunity with Vishal was amazing. So, and see, I'm still optimistic about it. But yes, there are phases when I'm also a pessimist. Something goes wrong, I'm a pessimist. I'm like, what is this? Why is this? But yes, you get back, you bounce back.
Hey, very good. Thank you very much, Kamal. Well done.
Sure.
I'll move on to Veena now.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Veena. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So what is your take about optimism?
Like seeing everything in the positive side, like not seeing anything in the negative side. I think I'm a very optimistic person. I see everything in the positive side, if it's good or bad.
Okay, and how if sometimes you become negative, because like we said, life is all ups and downs, how do you find yourself back to normal, back to being optimistic? What do you do? What helps you?
Like I give some of the affirmation to myself. You can do it. This is just a phase. You can overcome all these things. And these affirmation helps me to come out of the negativity.
Okay, and what situation in your life did you realize, wow, I am a real optimist? Like you needed to be an optimist to get through it.
Like 2 years back, I was earning a lot of money from network marketing, and I wanted to switch my job. Like it was high time. I was working for like 7 or 8 years. I was doing network marketing. I was earning money, but not respect. So I thought I should do something where I could get the respect. And I left everything and I joined the school. I was very much scared. Like this was the totally different thing, leaving a network marketing and joining a school. So I thought if it will not work, what will happen? I might lose everything, my money, my impression, everything. But it worked for me. I took it as a challenge, and I was a very optimistic person. I thought I can do it. If anyone can do it, why can't I do it? And now I'm a very good teacher. I have completed my 2 years.
Very good. Okay, so a total change in an environment there, and work environment, a total change also of your stability, and testing your limits, and testing, you had all the challenges to overcome.
Yes.
Well done. Okay, and if someone had to come up to you with a problem, and you notice that they're being pessimistic, how would you react to it?
Like I do counseling for some of the people. They come to me, like they have some family issue or something. So I just ask them to this affirmation helps me a lot. I suggest them 4 or 5 affirmation, and I ask them to meditate and do this affirmation at the night, and they do those things, and it works. It's really work for me also, for them also.
Oh, that's like a lovely thing, because not only are you helping yourself, but you're also helping others now, and it's kind of by helping others, it kind of makes you feel good as well.
Yes, mostly women come to me for that. I'm having a fight with my husband or something, this. So I do counseling for them.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay, well done, Veena. Thank you very much. I'll move on to Amvisha now.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So, what do you think of optimism?
So sorry. I think optimism is something like when we are in a situation of bad, we don't have we think that we don't have to be in this place, and we try to move on, and hope for the best and stay
Okay.
positive.
So we don't need to, even if we are in a bad place, we don't need to stay there. We have to tell ourselves, okay, when in optimism, even if we find ourselves in a bad place, we tell ourselves, oh, we don't need, wait a minute, I don't need to be here, and I can find my way back to becoming more positive.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And so would you consider yourself an optimist, first of all?
Actually, when a bad thing comes or a situation comes, I feel very bad, but then I overcome with my positive thinking. I think I am an optimist.
Okay. You think you are an optimist?
Yes.
Okay. And how so how do you get yourself in a positive mindset? How do you get that positive mindset? What do you do?
By just thinking the things what I love and doing the things what I try to do and my hobbies, and I talk to someone, to my family, to my friends, which makes me feel good.
Okay.
That
So
okay, there's a better things also in my life which I can focus on.
okay. Okay, so focusing on other areas in your life, and getting positive affirmations from your friends and family, that helps you,
Yes.
how do you say, anchor yourself.
Yeah,
It's all about, yes,
and I
continue, sorry.
also see my inspirations, like some of my ideals, and take inspiration from them.
Okay, very good. And who are your idols, if I might ask?
One is my father, and second, uh, an Indian influencer of Neet Kaur and Shraddha Kapoor. I love Bollywood.
Okay, very good. Who doesn't? um, okay, my next and last question to you will be, can you name me a situation in your life where you had to be an optimist and where you realized, wow, I really am an optimist here. I really had to be an optimist to survive this.
I don't have a particular situation for this, but when I was in 10th standard, so uh, in my past studies, I wasn't a very good student and I was an average achiever. But in 10th, I felt like, okay, I don't have to be an average all the time. I can do better than this. And I can hope for the best in this 10th marks also, in 10th board also. So I did the same. I became an optimist. I hoped for the best and tried my best, and I came through it and I overcome it.
Okay, very good. You pushed through it and you came out on the other side a winner.
Yes.
Well done. Okay, thank you very much, Anvisha. I'll move on to Arush because I realize I went on to someone else and forgot to do Arush. Arush. Arush, are you there?
He is not here. Sorry, ma'am.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry I missed him before. Okay. So, Yurash.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Yurash. So, can you tell me a bit about what you think about optimism?
Yeah, ma'am. Being an optimist person is really very good for us, because in this situation, if you think about if you think that I have to achieve it, then you definitely achieve it, because at that time you don't think about negative things. You just think about positive things, and at that time you definitely achieve your goal.
Okay,
So
so
yeah, ma'am, that's why it's
optimism is important in order for you to achieve your goals.
yeah, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And do you think you are an optimist?
Yeah, ma'am, definitely.
Okay. And how do you encourage, okay, say you're giving me advice. How would you encourage me to be an optimist? What would you tell me to do? How can I be a better optimist?
Ma'am, you can be an optimist person just by like calm and like uh, don't think about negative things. Just think about your positive side. Like don't think
Mhm.
about like your handwriting is not good. Think about that your knowledge is great.
Okay. So focusing on what is already good rather than focusing on the bad, focus on other things that are good, that you know are good.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And tell me a situation in your life where you had to be an optimist.
Uh, no, ma'am.
You can't think of one?
No, ma'am.
Be a situation where you helped your friends be more of an optimist?
Yeah, ma'am. There are lots of situations where I've helped my friends. Mm.
Okay. What about your exams? How do you go into your exams? Do you go into your exams and tests worried that you might get something wrong, or do you go in and
No,
say,
ma'am. No, I'm really not. I just feel like, yeah, it's exam and I have learned all the things in for the exam.
"Mhm,
So yeah, definitely my exams will be great.
okay, very good. Okay, so that is, Yurush, a situation in your life where you go in with with an optimistic attitude.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So if anyone asks for example, that's a good one to use because you go into the exam rather than scared of the exam. You're optimistic. You know you've studied. You know you've worked hard, and there you have it. You're going to do it. Well done. Um, fantastic. Arush, is he there? Kushbu, has
Ma'am,
Arush come back?
hello, ma'am.
Sorry.
Ma'am, my father is also here.
Oh, your father is also here. Okay. Let me just ask if Arush is there, and I'll come back to your dad. Is Arush there, Kushbu?
No, ma'am.
No, he's not coming today.
No, not coming.
All right, okay, no worries. So Yuraj, I'll move on to your dad.
Okay, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, ma'am. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So today we are talking about optimism. So what do you think about optimism?
It is completely a state of mind
Mhm.
in which we stay positive all the time. This is all about optimism, as I think, ma'am.
Okay, and do you consider yourself to be an optimist?
Yes, ma'am. Right from my childhood, I see myself as an optimistic person, ma'am.
Okay, and how would you help someone to become more of an optimist?
Uh, beg me pardon, pardon, ma'am.
Oh, that's all right. So if you see someone being a pessimist, how would you help them? What would you tell them to become more of an optimist?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Uh, I would definitely say him that look the brighter side of any situation and uh, stay calm and cool and
Mhm.
think all the time that this bad day is going to pass on definitely in coming days and think about your future, that is your upcoming future, and nothing is going to stay for longer for all the time in your life, and this type of suggestions will definitely help him. And I would like to say him also that positive thinking is definitely help you, and try to think the brighter side of any situation that comes in your life, ma'am.
Okay, try to look at the brighter side of things.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. Okay, and what situation did you have to be an optimist in? Was there a situation that you had to be a big optimist in?
Yes, ma'am. I have already told you that I have been an optimistic person right from my childhood. There were so many situations that came in my life when I had to prove myself as an optimistic person. I am already 42 years old, and in 1990 my mother died. And after that, in 2002, my father also died when I was unmarried and unemployed also. And in between 1990 and 2002, in year 1997, there was my sister also. She was only one in my family. She also died after getting married. And in those situations, I kept myself positive and very thoughtful. I have been thoughtful that these things are not going to stay for a longer period of time, and these things are definitely very bad, but they're not going to affect at very huge level to me in for my future. But it was shocking. It was
Of
definitely
course,
very
yeah.
very bad for me, but I uplifted from those stages only by thinking positive, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much for sharing that. I'll move on to Kaif.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much. Hi, good evening, Kaif. So what do you think about optimism?
Ma'am, optimism is kind of that in believing of something will happen, whatever will happen in our life will be good, and we will have to face it with a smiling face.
Okay, and do you consider yourself to be an optimist?
Yes, ma'am. Always.
Okay. And what would you tell someone? How would you tell someone, you know, do this to become more of an optimist, or think this or think that? What would you say?
I would say, ma'am, if anyone thinks that very bad things in going in his or her life, he can only think that whatever is going on in his life or her life, uh, it is happening only for the good, ma'am.
Okay, and which situation in your life did you have to be a big optimist for?
Ma'am, there are many situations. So let me tell you one of that. Actually, from very first of my birth, I live with my mother's sister, and I call her only mother. But then, when I knew that my mother died in 2003, when I was just born, uh, then I was like my mental breakdown, and then I just gather something in my mind, and just when I knew that, I just smiled and hugged my mother.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, you guys, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Some of the stories are just, you know, heartbreaking, and you've been through so much, and yet you pulled through. by just having that positive mental attitude. So thank you very, very much, guys, for sharing that. I will now leave you be for the rest of the night there, and I'd like to thank you all for coming to the session, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.